Talk about this now with Stephanie List from the Institute of Economic Affairs and also Alan Marion Davis, who's the former president of the UK Faculty of Public Health. Good evening to you both. Alan, first, what do you think, a good idea or nanny statism?
It's a good idea. It's a good idea because parks are meant to be healthy places. They were set up originally over 100 years ago to act as a kind of healthy lung in the sort of murky inner cities in most places, and they're about well-being. So the places where you can walk and run and play and breathe in fresh air. So they're really not places where you'd want to see people smoking because that sends out all the wrong messages.
Yeah, we've had a few messages on this from our viewers. Phyllis Heaney says, Stephanie, I agree, if there are kids about, it's a bad influence on them. So ban it. What do you think?
I think stopping children from starting smoking is very important. But if we look at the evidence, looking at government figures over the past 20 years, in 1994, 20 years ago, we had 12% of 11 to 15-year-olds smoking, and now we have 2%. That's still far too high. We want it to be 0%. We've had a raft of measures coming in over the past 2 years to try and tackle smoking, and we need to see which ones work and focus on that rather than having sort of knee-jerk interventionist reaction.
Could it be that banning smoking in enclosed public spaces has made a difference to the number of children taking up smoking?
It's too soon to tell, to be honest. It hasn't been enough time. The sort of falls in the amount of people that smoke are very low percentages. They're enough to be a rounding error. So we just don't know. But we need to wait and see the evidence from things that have already happened before we rush into a decision like this.
So you don't think it's a good idea?
I don't think it's a good idea because I think that smoking is a legal thing to do. I think it's a huge attack on the personal freedom of smokers, 20% roughly of the population. They choose to consume a legal product. We shouldn't forget that. We should hope they'll be responsible and not smoke in front of children, but I just do not think it's fair to I think it's a nanny statism gone mad.
Yeah, Alan, it is still very much legal, although Jason Tosh on Facebook says smoking should be banned altogether. What do you think? Is this the thin end of that wedge?
I don't think it need to be that. I mean, I think it's, one step at a time. I mean, the point is that where this has been tried in many cities in the States, in Hong Kong, in places in Australasia, this has gone down well, and on the whole, the public accept this as reasonable, in the same way that they very much accepted the ban on smoking in enclosed spaces. So they see it as a sensible thing to do, and it does help to pervade the image that parks are healthy places.
That's the thing, Stephanie, isn't it? I mean, perhaps there hasn't been enough time since the original ban came in, and there haven't been enough studies, but you speak anecdotally to some ex-smokers and they say, do you know what, that was the tipping point for me. That's when I decided to give up, and there's so much the better for it. So this could have the same effect on those last stubborn few, maybe.
I think that is quite anecdotal. I mean, the amount of people that smoke hasn't dropped massively significantly. I think there will always remain people enjoy smoking. Some people like that. That might be their pleasure. There is nothing wrong with that. We shouldn't persecute those few people. I think it's important they are allowed to smoke. We need to educate people to not smoke in front of their children, of course, to see if some other measures we brought in have worked, definitely. But we need to look at evidence, be careful, and we need to educate rather than regulate.
Yeah, just finally, Alan, on that note, has there been too much stick thus far beating smokers, and there hasn't been enough carrot to encourage them to give up? And
there's been a lot of encouragement to people that giving up smoking will make a huge difference to their health and to their children's future health. So there's been lots of that, and a lot of support to help people give up smoking. And to ban smoking in parks in particular will be, as you say, another tipping point, and I think will actually encourage a lot more people to make the effort to give up smoking.
Alan, Stephanie, thank you both very much indeed.